if this was an easy job in terms of making money, don't you think we would have like 323 million traders in America?
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the whole fucking country would be traders. How is this trading any different than a slot machine? Some people have strategies for slot machines. I don't know if you guys
Slot
know,
machine,
but
you don't have any edge.
you don't have an edge, right? But what about poker?
Poker, yeah.
Blackjack?
Dude, I've heard even people
Yep.
go to slots to wait for people to build up the jackpot and then go in
Exactly.
after.
There is strategies there that you can play, right? But if I take $100 and I play, I don't know, like a dollar slot machine, if I hit 10 in a row and I lose, should I be discouraged? I mean, that's the
Nope.
mindset that you guys got to get over. I mean, the odds of you winning the slot machine on $10 while you're trying, on a dollar are minimal. But, let's say you're waiting, people load up those machines with a bunch of cash right in front of you and you watch, they walk away, and then you come in and hit a few times. And maybe you hit it, right? And trading, you guys need to almost treat it the same way. I took a trade. I had the setup, the right mindset, because I think I was trying to explain this last night as simple as possible. Like a day prior, value area low, this is value area high. If you can find acceptance above that, that means you're rejecting this value here. Well, they went in, and what happened? They got rejected. So once you got rejected, that was mean for me immediately that they're gonna do what? They're gonna
That's
look
the
for
opposite.
buyers lower. They're gonna test the opposite side. So if you knew, where the value area low was for the day prior, like even if you didn't trade this, let's say you took this trade and you managed your, like something like this, based on what I'm seeing from some of you on the profit factor, you guys are super excited about the 1.7. And that's okay. 1.7 is better than 1-to-1. But eventually, getting to this level, like 3 and higher, this is where the money's made. I mean, think about it, guys. You're talking about, if you, let's say you caught this trade, do you guys know how much money this is in ES?
Is that $2,000 or $2,500?
$2,500, a little bit more. So, and
$2,000 on one ES.
yeah, I mean, $50 a point, 55 points. 5 times 5 is 25. Add 2 zeros again, that's 2750, right?
Sounds like a good one.
So, and your risk would have been minimal when you're talking about this, right? So when I tell you this is 12 points, right, times 50. So I don't know, I'm not judging your account size, but you could have played this with MES too. I think it would have been decent money on MES. But 12 points risk, $600 risk to make $2,700. I mean, I'll take that. I'll take that. I will accept that risk. I will not take it. I will accept that risk anytime, especially if the setup is there and I did my homework like we did last night. A lot of you guys are eager to turn green and you quickly close the trades or you move the worst thing you can do, and then, different people, different philosophies. If you're confident in your setup and what you're seeing, don't move your trailing. Sometimes you guys will hear me when I'm trading live at the end of the day or when I'm collecting hundreds, 200s. Hey, I'm already in. They're getting volatile. And the other, I just cover my $100, $200 events. When I see a trade like this, like the day prior, I don't know, I forgot the levels that we hit. Was it 64? I think it was 64 to 15 or something like that, 1675. You see a big setup like that and you want to see it play out. You can protect your entry once they're all the way here. You can move it down then because, a chance of them bumping it and getting you up. But as soon as you're in profit, if you start moving this, your stop and you're here, of course they're going to get you. I mean, what do you guys think institutional trader has to do to get a fill on their order versus me and you? You think they can just hit a market buy for 7,000 contracts?
You gotta
Nope.
stop people out.
most of the hedge funds have resting orders. They are in a responsive activity. A lot of times I consider myself a responsive trader too. You're a passive trader, if you want to call it. And a lot of hedge funds, they have rules for their traders on what they can do and can't do, right? Institutional traders, they can't get the liquidity on the size that they need. So what do? They have to generate the liquidity for them. You guys generate it. They set the target where they want it, and then, they go up, they grab the liquidity here, they go down, 20, 30 points for them is not a big deal if they're trying to fill in, let's say, 15,000 contracts. Not a big deal for them, right? So a lot of you guys are just, you have to trust yourself what you're seeing. The technical side of trading is not that complex, guys. It's the emotional and fighting yourself and your ego and greedy side that's going to be the most difficult side. So for tomorrow, I mean, what is market telling you here? We said that we want to defend this level, right? Which was basically the value that you're seeing here, top to the bottom. And now if we hide this for a moment, the daily, you have a decent weekly profile, right? So in terms of bullish structure, I'm just going to hide everything so you guys can see it. Oh, not that, hide drawings. This is your weekly profile. What does it look like so far? This guy right here.
B shape.
Be like more details. Is it lowercase b or just a double B?
Lowercase b, yeah, most of the
Lowercase b
is at the bottom of the structure.
Double B.
Yeah.
Capital B.
Well,
But like a
it's
little
building
one.
a lowercase b, but they need a little bit more action in this to create a double distribution. So let's say, tomorrow they're able to crack 55.35. That would be a very bullish sign, right? You're breaking the weekly POC, and then most likely you're going to hit 55, I would say 60. But where do you guys see them going after that? What would be your magnet? Let me see if I can zoom out. Okay, there it is. Chance, skip the question.
Single prints in the middle of the distribution. Right?
Yeah, that's most likely the area that we would be interested in seeing, which would be here. And the reason why is because that would be the area that we're looking to split this and this right here. This is the little zone that's splitting that. They disagreed here. This is where aggressive traders came in and they split the value. This is lower distribution. This is the upper distribution. If they're able to crack this, high chance you're going to hit this 56.10. Okay, I mean, would there be turbulence a little bit here? Yeah, but ultimately you'll go there. Everybody understand this? Make sense? But am I gonna wait to initiate a trade, long trade, till I'm at 55.66 and over? No, I mean, the move would be done and they would be tired by then. I would have to wait for this. And, the probabilities of us having a move like this, I don't know where we close, let's say like here, 90 points reversal move, the odds are there, what I've seen, but it's not a normal behavior. So for tomorrow, how would you guys play it? You know where the split is in terms of weekly profile. What about in the daily? What is the daily telling you? We sold off here with really, I would say, the structure here is shit. So if you guys look at this profile, it's just really bad profile. Like you have skinny belly here, you have access high. Let me see what period is that. I mean, look at the A and B here. This is pretty bad here. Like all the way up here, and then you have a little bit of high volume node in this area with the VPOC being 76, which would be the magnet. And then you have more poor structure below, along with the spike that we had, right? Spike was, I think, 41 or so. No, I'm sorry, it was a little bit higher, 45. I thought 45-ish. So we had the spike, and of course we lost that. So now, when you think about it, what's happening to the value? Do you guys remember the 3 components of directional performance for market profile?
Accumulation, like a campaign, and
framing down, right?
Okay, let's make sure that everybody understands how do we measure the directional performance of the auction. Does anyone recall? Erica, don't answer.
The value area
The price,
placement.
time, and value?
Keep going.
How good of a job it's doing getting there?
Yeah, the question is, where are you trying to go? How are you getting there? And the 3 components are what, Free?
Price, time, and value.
I only know two. The value area placement, the width of the and I can't remember the other one, I'm sorry.
Yeah, value area width. The last one is easy. What is it? Starts with a V, ends with an E.
Volume.
Volume.
You guys need to remember this. Okay, well, let's start off with the sell-off. We were in the balance, right? We sold off. Clearly, we got the value shift lower. The next day, we got a compressed. I would say this is a lowercase b for me, which typically can lead to what? When you have a compressed b? Trapped sellers, right? So they extended it today with the elongated or a long, I can't pronounce that right, a longer profile B, which is telling you, hey, we're not agreeing on this price. And how do we know they're not agreeing on this price of the value? Well, we just covered it. We went above and they sent it back. We opened here and we closed where? Lower, right? So as of right now, it's saying, hey, I don't agree with this. We're looking for lower. So tomorrow, in terms of bearish side, right? If you, let's say, wanna, because there's a lot of overlap between these two profiles, could we not do something like this? Yes, no, can't do that.
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, I mean, so I see no reason. You can do this, but take a look at the two profiles here. Right here. Is there any, just pay attention to this. We had a value area low here and a value area high here, and that was our key level. Is there any similarities between this day and this day now? Same concept.
Same exact thing happened.
Same thing, guys. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to trade this. Oh, now we just have a line here. Right? You have the value area low of the day prior and today's value area highs here. Shift, 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 shift. Now the last component of this value area placement is going down, value area width. I would say it's looking good. There's a lot of, what does that tell you about the value area width? What does that mean for you guys?
Other time frame participants.
Yeah, there's other people in this auction that are participating in the sell-off or whatever.
They're doing a pretty good job trying to go down.
Yeah, they're doing a good job doing what they're supposed to do in the direction that they want it to go. And that's what Gator was talking about. Where are we trying to go and are we doing a good job? And these are the three components that tell you if you're doing a good job. Okay. So please remember this. If you don't, just take a screenshot or I'll take a screenshot. But this is not bad for you guys to remember. And I don't know if whoever was in the Discord, I think we had a bullish run in October or when we were coming up. Remember we talked about how do we know the auction and the trend is dying? Do you guys recall that?
Yep.
If the value areas start like compressing towards each other, or they like start ending in the same place, POCs get stacked. Right?
So typically
Overlapping.
That's exactly right. Right. So typically when you're in a trend, you don't want to see a lot of overlap. You want to build value, value, value. And do you want the value chase the price or price chase the value when you're trending?
Value chase price.
Tell me why.
Because price is a testing instrument, right? So they advertise price at like higher levels.
Beautiful answer. Price is a discovery tool. The value is a responsive tool, right? That tells you if the price is going to be accepted in that value or not. So price is doing discovery, value needs to catch up. And sometimes the market will take a breather, right? Slow down. Let's say like right here. We were going up, right? Here's your value area, shift, shift, shift. And then look at this. You have a B profile with a poor high. Then you have, I would say, D shape and then whatever you want to call this day, a lowercase b and then back in the zone. But we are stalling on trend up, right? Market's not sure and they're looking for buyers and they attempted to do what? Well, they attempted to do this a few times and every time they came, what happened?
Rejected.
So now think
Other
about
time
this.
frame buyers up there.
When you think about auction, right? If the market is auctioning higher and not a single buyer in the stock market, I don't know how many participants stock market has now, not a single buyer offered a tick more higher than this amount here in the whole trading world that's trading ES. Pretty crazy, right? And then
Pretty
of course,
bearish.
you know, there was signs that this was bearish if you did the TPO counts, if you did any of that. There was signs that it was bearish. If you guys remember, you guys recall when I drew the volume boxes along with the volume on the bottom? You guys recall that? I
Oh, yeah.
highlighted that box and I highlighted every single volume and I told you that these are concerns that I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Volume decreasing.
Well, volume was decreasing when we were going up. The volume was picking up anytime we reached the top. I mean, it wasn't really difficult to see. Anytime we went to the extreme top, we got a buyer exhaustion. When you get a buyer exhaustion, what do you think the sellers want to do? If you have 100,000 pairs of shoes and you're seeing you're not getting a lot of buyers higher, what are you going to do with your inventory?
Start lowering.
Mark down the price. Yeah.
Man, you're going to try to sell as much as you can while you have them there at close levels to your target. Like, let's say you wanted $70 and they're 66. You're going to be like, you know what? If I can sell 30,000 pairs of 66, that's okay. So you want to get rid of the inventory at the levels much quicker. And that's kind of what was happening with the volume, right? So I would suggest to you guys, if you have questions, and if this doesn't make sense, I can cover it in class on Sunday. But this is important to know when you guys are talking market profile. So for tomorrow, for me, what do you guys think is the key level?
That
value
box you have
area.
right there.
Yeah.
You need to do.
High.
They need to do this above this. They can, you know, hit this and this piece here. If we come here, let's say we open, I don't know where we are, ATH. Let's say we open here, we go inside, we dance, and then we lose this level. What would that pattern resemble from today? Is it identical?
Yeah.
Say it's very close to what happened here. They go in, and then we look at the, you know, if you want to wait for AB, sure. If you want to wait for IB to set, you can. Remember what the C period does for you. What does C period tell you a lot of times?
The direct sentiment for the rest of the day.
It can tell you the direction that the rest of the day. So now, you know, I'm repeating some of this because we have some new members, and I think it'll help them in the class. This is your day. Each one of these letters is 30 minutes. You know, your opening orbs are here, right? A period is here. And then your initial balance happens to be the A and B. So you went higher, you went above the orb high, then they gave you a really clear, did anyone pay attention to this today? It was really good. Where did they bounce the B?
2% of A.
What does that typically mean?
Friend.
That they could potentially defend this and go make a higher high. So let me tell you now, you're telling me you found confidence in buying here, which was very close to the POC today, of the day prior, right? And then your C period failed to make higher high. What does that tell you about the aggression and confidence of buyers?
They're not there.
They're not there. And then once you lost this level, you didn't really have a lot of risk to take this short below. You did have risk if you got emotional and you're on 1 minute chart and you're like, man, what is going on? And now let me see the candles. Like we went above, we're doing all this. Let's say you shorted it here and you lost, I don't know how many points you would have lost. 12 maybe points, you would have been in a drawdown and you would have been freaking out, right? And I can't say that most people don't get emotional on that, but as long as you accept the risk, and what I mean by that you're okay losing because this is one trade. It's not going to define who you are as a trader. If you took this, I think you could have made decent money. The C period came, the D period sold off, and then there was something that happened in the F period that I've told you multiple times to pay attention to. What is it?
Outside,
Outside bar?
period.
It was I would say pretty easy money. You have the F period, and if you're taking this long, let's say you take the long on the break of this POC, you can play this however you're risk averse, whatever your case is, but you could have played this multiple ways, right? If you, let's say, took a long here, what would you target?
Say D period, high D.
The E period.
You could target this, right? This would be one of the targets that you could play, certainly. Anything else?
Didn't that run up to the previous day POC?
Almost. It came
Yeah,
very
almost.
close.
Yeah, that's what I.
July POC, right?
Yep. And then what about if you took some fibs? You have the 50% matching right there. And that, I mean, it would have been short by 2 points. But as you see something slowing down, sometimes you guys will, like when that 16 happened, I took my money at 21 and I was, okay with it. I don't have to get the last penny out of it as long as I'm very close to it. I'm not saying that this was the best trade, but if you see these are intraday setups that I would play as a scalp. I'm watching, okay, F period cracked, I'll take it. And let's say you wait for it to crack and then you wait for the retest to go along. I mean, you could have done that as well. There was opportunities to trade this, right? I think the day was not that bad to conduct it. And then you had, I was actually hoping that they cracked the L period today. Usually when you crack the low of L periods, typically you go into the spike. Especially if you're close to these levels that are low of the day or high of the day. L period cracks, typically we get a little spiky. So I was hoping for that, but pretty sure once I switch to ETH, I would not be shocked if they overnight visit somewhere in this zone right here.
They're pretty much halfway there already.
Oh, okay. Oh, they're at 80. Hold on, what? They're at 87 now?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They.
82 right now.
All right, well, there it goes. So we have that, right? And then yesterday I also mentioned about the monthly profile that we talked about. You guys recall what I asked you? On TPOs. I asked you why the 16 level was important. You guys remember that? I offered you guys 100
Yeah,
bucks.
you said August 1st.
It was the August 1st profile, right? That was driving that. So there was some, belly here that was sitting there. Let me hide this candle. So this was this right here. I just want to make sure you guys are following. So you had a zone that was sitting right here. And that's the zone that was basically defendant. They're defending this zone. And then if you look, you look further, pay attention to if you have VPOCs, right? There's some VPOCs in this area around 71. This is not a VPOC. I would say this is a VPOC here. And then on the weekly, I would do the same. I would check. I would not be interested in shorting in this area right here. There's, daily VPOC, weekly VPOC, June value area high, and August value area low. What you can expect to see is something like this, and then they could go and catch a little late shorts and drive them crazy from here. So once we arrive here, I would suggest that you guys consider laying off on your short bias till they give us a little bit more information, okay? But excuse me, we have NFP tomorrow morning. Honestly, I would suggest that you guys, if you're not comfortable, just don't trade it. Today I took pretty much a day off. The kids has appointments that, there's a lot of news. And I'm like, man, I don't have to trade every day. I don't have to be there. I don't have to stare at their price action. Would have been a nice day, yeah, definitely. But I'm happy with what I make some days, and I don't need to trade the rest of them.
That is the goal right there. That is the dream.
It's a goal, but it's a discipline. As the only way I would not trade it is if I'm not at home. Sometimes when I jump on, I'm done trading, and then I see a setup, and I'm like, okay, well, I had to take it, and it's almost like an automatic behavior for me. Like I took a couple of shorts yesterday. Yesterday. I was just sharing, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna take this, and a couple of trades, and it was like $600-700 I took with one contract. And to me, that when you can do that, when you see it and you take it, and it becomes automatic, without really thinking, without emotions, without considering if it's going to work out or not, you put your stop loss, and if it works, great. If it doesn't, it's also great. That's when you're going to know you have something. And if you guys read Mark Douglas, or if you listen to any of his stuff, he talks about when basketball player goes to the line, he hits 20 free throws in a game in a row, and then last second free throw to win or lose the game, he goes out there and he misses it. That psychological impact on that player is that he can't handle the pressure, right? And it's the psychological
Yeah, I
side of it.
remember that part.
Yeah, and a guy when if you're able to go out there and you make that and you treat it like every other point, you make it. That's almost the same as trading, right? When you're on the line, a lot of people, when you guys enter a trade, I feel like your brain literally freezes for some of you. Like I feel like, and it's not that you guys are, don't get this wrong, by no means, that you're stupid. It's just that you're not confident in yourself and you start panicking. Once you panic, your brain and you do not know what you're doing. What do they tell you when you're if you're in the water and you start drowning? Do they tell you start splashing everywhere?
Stay calm.
You want to stay calm, right? If you see a tiger in front of you, do you want to turn around, start running? Well, you ain't gonna live long.
Nope.
Being calm in trading is the same. You want to keep the rational of why you took the trades, identify the key points, and it's much easier to do this in hindsight when it's done, but doing it live, and I'm not saying live trading with you guys, but like identifying this as you're trading, like let it be only you and a screen one day. Don't even jump on the Discord. See what I'm teaching you and apply it. And see if you can make a decision on your own and then come back to it in a day. Be like, okay, I saw that, I took it. It was a good setup. Let's say it worked or didn't work. Your behavior should not be, oh shit, like this sucks or that's no. Like you had a good setup. And in the market profile class, we've covered certain setups that work over and over and over. Like yesterday's trade to the 1675. What is the setup that I took? There was two things that played a role yesterday. What is it?
Poor low. To short at 64 to the poor low.
Yeah. What was 64?
Single prints.
Yeah,
Single print.
yeah, it was definitely single prints. And as soon as the poor low was set, I told you guys they're gonna come and fix it. The higher they went, the better the reward was. Because
Then it's just finding an entry for it.
Then you're looking for an entry to short it. And 64 was a great entry because we had single prints. And then also, if you go back on your footprints, there was something that we covered on that. It was really clear as day that they did not want to go higher. It was a really nice completed auction with aggressive sellers immediately after. And I didn't need more than that. And that's eventually for many of you that stay on the course of learning and actually applying it. I think that's the status that you want to minimize the trades, minimize your commissions on how many trades you take. So, you're going to be feed out by the time if you take 40, 50. I had a person in Discord, I'm not going to name them. They took 74 trades in a day. I mean, 74 trades in a day to me, that's just pretty amazing. I haven't heard of that. I haven't seen 74 setups in a day in a very long time. Unless you're on 15 seconds or something like that, you can trade that quick, then that's good. Most of the time, I see 1 to 3 that are good. Most of the time, 2. But we all have different perception, and maybe they have different. Maybe they see what I don't see, and that's okay. All right, guys. Well, I'll be live tomorrow. Hopefully we can let the dust settle down on NFP because I think it's going to be pretty volatile. If they do reclaim this level, I think they can cause some major pain tomorrow. If they can reclaim this, I don't know, my drawing is doing some weird stuff again. And I do have a mouse pad chance. I do have a mouse. And I think it's because it's the higher time frame you go, the harder. See, the harder is to draw on it. If I go on 8 hours, they draw these weird boxes here. I don't know why.
That's so strange.
Like it fixates on points on a chart.
Shorty, so are you using the developing, like the weekly POC as a level?
I think it's going to be important tomorrow. Yeah. I think it will be a really good sign for us to know where's the value, perception of value. If you're trading above a weekly POC, that's a good sign.
So if we were to trade above the previous day's value area high, and is that Wednesdays, and then Wednesdays above Wednesday's value area low as well, how would you?
Go ahead.
How would you execute that trade with the weekly POC being so close to your entry point?
So the weekly POC would be here. Let's say they go in here and they reject it and they come back. That would be my entry to go long and drive this, especially if they lose this off a POC and then they say no and come back. That would be my, that would be a go ahead, like load a little heavier for me. They go to POC, they lose this, they reclaim it. I would slam it here and drive it probably to here and here somewhere.
And what's that 5221 level?
5-5. What? I'm sorry.
Or 5-5-2-1. Where you're saying there may be aggressive buyers. What is that level from?
Hold on 1 second. 5-5-2-1. This one right here?
Yeah.
I don't know what that level is. I don't have it marked. The only level I have is this one. I think 5-5-2-1 was a intraday level I had from yesterday. Yeah. I would just delete these fibs. Here, I wouldn't pay much attention to them. The biggest level for me is going to be here, and then ultimately you're going to have the weekly POC. I mean, between here and here is 8 points, not a lot. You're developing value for weeklies here, right, at 503. So I would say, and I'm sorry, but did you guys get year-to-date value area high to be 09 or not, was it 90? I think it was 90.
It was 90.
Yeah, I think I messed up when I was dragging stuff. So, I mean, this level being here, and I don't know if you guys looked at it, if we are able to defend this level, that's a big spot, guys. Does everybody understand that, like the importance of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty massive level for us. So if they are able to defend that, man, that's huge. And that is, I don't know. To me, it seems like when you look at this right here, lots of volume above selling here, but we didn't really take them out yet, and that's the only thing I'm worried about. We should have been lower today. We should have been lower than that gap fill of 87. We should have been auctioning live to 67-ish, 70 to make it worthwhile.
Yeah, and they're trying to take it down now. This is becoming ridiculous every day at night.
Well, they're defending the 87 again in here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Again, they defended 18. MQ bounced from 791.
I had 86 as the value high year to date.
I did too.
And it hasn't touched it yet. In my
well,
book.
I mean, well, in year 86, they came back to what they touched. What today?
They hit 90 today, but after hours we've hit as low as 88.5.
Yeah, so they hit 90. I mean, on a beans like on a 9-month profile, 4 points. I'll pay you, right? That's
no,
how.
No, I'm just, all I'm trying to say is, in my book, it's held.
No, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I agree.
It's held. It's defended. That's all.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought you said like it didn't hit it perfectly. I'm like,
no. It's more about it. It held and defended. It didn't break.
Okay, good. Yeah, because okay. Here goes the profile that's actually looking like it's the right level. So if you look here, this is the level that I guess right now, including today, look at where they are. If we fail tomorrow, I mean, I don't want to be a pessimist, but if we fail tomorrow, there's a high chance next week we're here, and shortly after we're here. So there's a lot right now, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to build value above year-to-date value. They're trying to push the market up. So it's a big level.
Yes, Shorty, and if you see, QQQ, I see buying there since Wednesday. Heavy buying in QQQ at lower levels.
And I just took this node here and kind of like drew it around it. And look at the level that's important here. The level that we had today a little bit, about 40. So I mean, they're not dead yet. By no means did we kill this. If they crack this low tomorrow, we have a potential for a dump. And I don't know how
I'm wondering if they're going to just drag
How
the
do
feet
the-
and then gap it down on Monday or something.
Shorty, how do the big boys do that? Like, are they watching that too?
Of course they're watching.
And so, like,
Oof.
I mean, once they see it's broke, I mean, obviously, like the big ones are probably helping to break it. The ones that want to sell.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, only those other time frame participants are here. I would not be shocked to see something like this tomorrow. Considering NQ has been really weak compared to ES, if they can push this to 19285, this might not be the play, not a bad play here, where we take this short right here. I'm gonna watch for this for NQ. I wouldn't mind swinging an NQ contract if this happens.
After Evigo result, it will be difficult. Like they have to.
No,
behave a lot of
I don't mean in the morning.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course, end of the day, once the dust settles, it wouldn't be a bad idea to see how they behave here. Because here they have a little bit of a volume node, right? And they're struggling to get over it. So if they get over it, we'll see.
They're struggling very much to close above 19.
I'm sorry, what?
This is PvP, yeah? Is this PvP?
This is FVP. Man.
FVP, okay. You just grabbed it, okay.
I'm trying to see where's SPY so far. The SPY has a lot more, well, not a lot more, but they have $8 to go. I would expect them to be at 44 by the end of this week. The only thing for me when I looked at SPY the other day, I was grabbing puts, I mean, you had this consolidation for such a long period of time here. Like right here, you consolidated, and this candle, do you guys see this giant candle here? Like they picked up the selling volume. Obviously this was selling as well, but this candle erased pretty much the gains of 10 days. Like it wiped it out. So now if you can't get back inside of it right here, if you can't reclaim, let's call it 555. I can't be bullish on SPY.
SPY is, failing at 549, right? That resistance is massive now.
It is. The only thing that I noticed today on SPY on my contracts for October is that they're killing IV really, really bad on the contracts. Like on the whole move today, my contract did not move today, guys.
And they're
like
expensive.
I mean, they dropped it. I was expecting if I could have gotten 16, 17 today, I would have sold it. And it dropped, I was almost $4 in the money today, and I did not get that price. And I'm in the money, guys. I'm in 550 puts for SPY October 18th. So it's not like my delta is low. So yeah, I was shocked on the pricing today a little bit. Okay. All right, guys. Well, we'll check you guys out tomorrow. We'll trade live, and we'll go from there.
Wait, Shorty, one quick.
Sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. Just one. It's completely random. I don't even trade options, but like, let's just say you held it till it's mid-October, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say you held it for 3 weeks, and we dump. We go back to the POC for the year to date. Who's buying that off you? Like, is one of somebody buying that to then
The dealers.
Okay.
Somebody else will buy it. Maybe somebody that's late for shorts. He'll be like, "Oh man, I can buy this," but usually the dealer is there to facilitate the trade, and they eat the contract, right? Just like we have the dealers and the locals when let's say we're auctioning this way, and you're like, "I want to sell 5,000 contracts here." Well, somebody's going to buy those 5,000 contracts, and they're going to look to sell it to a next guy, so they make a little bit of per contract transactional, right? But if let's say that they're buying calls here at this level. At the top, they're buying calls. So that means somebody else is doing what to calls?
Selling.
Well, somebody had to sell them for you to buy them. So you bought them, and let's say now you bought the call and the price starts going down. Well, let's say the dealer has the liquidity was not able to find a buyer, let's say all or none, AON on the contract, which is not how it works. Let's say they're not able to sell this. Well, at some point, this guy's going to start eating some losses, right? Where he's going to start selling at a loss, or he's going to have a hedge, right? Most of the time options are used for hedging, but it changed over time. So either they're going to have a massive hedge here, or they're going to do what to the calls? They're going to start closing them. If they bought them here, they're going to take a loss and look to get it. But if they can't get enough buyers at the top and it starts dipping, well, that's where the locals lose money.
Thank you.
So, it's one of the slides in the volume profile class.
I just was like if your 50 spot or your 550 put went to I don't know, it's at $3,000 because it just dumps so much. That's who I was wondering who would buy that. Would they buy it to execute it or?
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. As long as somebody buys it from me, I'm okay. I'm like, okay, sure.
All right.
I think they usually execute them if they're deep in the money.
Well, on SPY you
say,
can. If you're trading SPX, you can't execute because it's cash settled.
All right.
Yeah. SPY you can execute as long as you have your multiply by 100 on single contract. SPX there's no settle. You get the euro close settlement. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm off to watch a TV show. I don't know. Has anyone started watching Bad Monkey? It's actually a pretty good show on Apple TV.
Yeah, I've watched all of them so far.
Supposedly came out yesterday, the Wednesday, right? When we didn't watch it, so somebody's screaming downstairs for me. That'd be my wife.
Thank you, Shorty.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Shorty.
Thanks, Shorty.
Thank you, guys. See ya.
Appreciate it.